Hello and welcome to JamboFANTV. It's the Hibs review. It's not going to be an easy review, this one. Gordon's agreed to come on. Gordon was there. I watched a very poor stream. So yeah, a bit jittery mine, Gordon. But you were there. Tell us about the atmosphere. What was it like from the Hearts End?
Atmosphere was fine to start with, as usual, when we go down to Easter Road. But unfortunately, like our last two visits there, they pretty much shut us up after 3 minutes. There wasn't really an awful lot to get excited about even thereafter. There was a few times the crowd tried to get the team going, but there was just nothing on the park, unfortunately. I think you've probably seen the best of the game in your dodgy stream.
Well, let's start with the side. I looked at it. To be honest with you, I was impressed that, you know, fair enough, the big lad's going to get a chance in the middle. But lone striker, that was sort of set up to hit him on the break and see what we can get, and then shut up shop, which wasn't the kind of tactics that I wanted to see. What did you think about it? I mean, straight away, that was, I mean, as soon as he got the ball, he had 2 or 3 men around him, isolating him. That was from the first minute.
Yeah, well, Hibs signalled their intent straight for kick-off, didn't they? The ball was played back to Suter, and Murray was right on top of him as soon as the first ball was kicked. And Suter kicked it straight out for a throw-in, which wasn't the last time he did that last night. But they were. You probably handed in the initiative by setting the team up as they did. I thought, as I said on Sunday night, that Goncalves would play alongside Lafferty and would be forced due to the squad limitations. And what he's done is he's brought in, obviously, try to pack the midfield. Brought in another guy who we probably didn't even mention on Sunday night, in Drelak. Maybe arguably more combative than the other midfielders we've got, but he's just absolute crap, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, it didn't start. I mean, the first two minutes or so, it was sort of panning out, where lots of pressure on us every time we got the ball. We had somebody in our face, which I thought was our tactics. I mean, I tweeted something about us playing our game. Not being sort of worried about what they were going to do, but go out and do what we was going to do. Didn't sort of turn out like that. Let's have a look. I mean, straight away we're on the back foot because we're 1-0 down, which, you know, isn't in the game plan. Gordon, kills me to say it. Took his goal well.
He did, yeah. I mean, Suter's probably going to have a sleepless night last night. He didn't just get nutmegged. He was, I think he initially tried to play too much football in defence. He tried to be cute with his header out to Michael Smith. And the ball's went straight to, is it Barker or something his name is, the boy from Man City. And they've worked it back in there. And Froy's took his goal well. The last strike of the ball, he had enough time to make a cup of tea and light a cigarette before he struck into the top of the net. I've seen the goalie getting a bit of criticism for it, but I was right behind it, and I've got to be honest with you, he struck it so well it was past the goalie before he could really move. So yeah, it was a disappointing goal to lose. You could argue a wee flick like he produced that going through Suter's legs is a wee bit unlucky on Suter, but yeah, the ball should have been cleared the first time it came. It should have been in amongst the Hibs fans in the East Stand, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he put his laces through it. That's all you can do. Goalkeeper got a bit of a touch on it, which I think he was lucky to do with the pace of it. I was watching BT Sports, so biased, it's unbelievable. That's not just because Hibs won, but I've never seen a commentary set up so biased in favour of last night he was in favour of Hibs. Everything was, they were blowing so much smoke up Hibs' arse. It was unbelievable. It was sickening to the point where I turned the sound down after a bit. But yeah, like I said, the lad took he took his chance. You could argue that we sort of give it him, but under no circumstances could that goalkeeper, our goalkeeper, have saved that. It'd have been a miracle save if he had done. After that, Gordon, where do we go? What do we do? We carry on for some reason doing our same thing of desperately. I mean, I think we did more back passing than going forward, and still, I mean, it got to the point where the Hibs fans were shouting "oof."
Yeah, I did.
Every time we got it, because that's what we were doing. We were just oofing it up for the big lads.
They've got a habit of shouting hoof. They've done it for years. The alleged hoofball we used when we absolutely hammered them every time we played them. And they obviously weren't happy with that and used to cry that we didn't play football the Hibs way, if you like. I think, to be honest with you, I think they're a bit selective in their viewing, to be honest with you, because they play two wide guys, and basically it basically gets shelled when they don't use them until they get shelled for their centre halves over the top of fullbacks and hope to use the pace of their wingers. So they're guilty of it as well. And the other guy a couple of years ago called Ryan McGivern, we used to call him the world high ball champion because honestly, this guy could clear any stadium in the world the way the height he used to kick the ball. But yes, they can take the crap off. It's their time. And let's hope that we keep it a lot shorter than what we used to do at the end.
We spoke on here for a bit about. I mean, do you know me? I'm very old-fashioned. I like my four across the back, but I like. I mean, I can sort of go back through my childhood of fast wingmen. Forget this three at the back. I mean, we've just been watching bloody West Ham trying to play three at the back and getting caught out. Don't like it. They had pace. They had pace yesterday, and one person that wasn't coping with that was Smith. He was getting caught left, right, and centre. Put himself under a lot of pressure very early on with a card. And then after that was being told time and time again that he was on his last chance. It was very, very. I think I text you to say I'll be surprised if we stay with 11 on. But on that side, that was an area where they were trying to exploit.
Yeah, he got his booking. He got himself drawn way up towards the halfway line, probably beyond the halfway line actually. And when he got skinned, there was so much room behind him. He didn't really have any choice but to block the guy's run. I think considering he's on a booking, he probably to his credit, he stuck to his task, and he was probably lucky not to be sent off when Goncalves got booked up. In my opinion, from my seat, it looked like it was Smith that had lunged in. Yeah, and I think that's probably around the time you sent the text, and I thought, well, he's probably got. This could be the red coming up here. But yeah, it was on the other side actually. To be fair, Brandon's battled willfully against Boyle. Can't remember his name. Boyle, I think it is. He's stuck to his task all night. He didn't get himself a booking. I don't remember him getting skinned that often. But we played pretty much the opposite Hibs at the moment. We're so narrow these days. It's absolutely incredible. We have absolute zero width, absolute zero pace. We're just trying to go long to laugh at it and hope that Callahan and Walker can get up beside them when the ball gets knocked down. And it's pretty pathetic, really. And to make a point that one of my mates said to me last night, we put Drelak and Randall in the centre of midfield last night. And well, it's not even, in my opinion, it's not even arguably our best performance this season against Aberdeen. They were the fullbacks. So we're just so woefully lacking in pretty much everything that you would like to see in a team at the moment. It's frightening.
It is. It is. It's been midfield. It's not. I'm trying not to do a show where it's Twitter and social media, as you've seen, Gordon, has got into meltdown, absolute meltdown about how bad we are and whatever. And I'm trying to not sort of go along that line, but I mean, we've done sort of the defence and what have you. Midfield. You predicted in when we spoke about it. It's an area where we're weak in terms of strength. You know, them players that can spoil a game, you know, in terms of just putting the foot in and doing what we need to do to break play up. We sort of haven't got that. We've got a chance through Walker in the first half, which I thought, you know, you've got to take them kind of chances. Stuck it right down the keeper's neck. Did you get a view of that one?
We worked that chance pretty well, I thought, if I remember rightly. And I don't know how quick the ball came to Walker. A lot quicker from my perspective than it maybe did for your own. The camera's been a wee bit higher up and maybe deceptively looking like he's got a lot more room than he did. It looked like he had to hit it first time, and he kept it low. And no, it's one of the few bits of encouragement in the first half. Actually, so he got a nice wee round of applause for it.
It was nice. I'll take that one. It was nice to get a shot on target because I was panicking about that. In terms of the first half, you know, fair enough, 1-0 up. Probably a biased thing to say, Gordon, but tell me if I'm sort of going down the right. I didn't think, even though they were getting down the sides and they were pressing, we were being forced to make mistakes. I don't think they really troubled us that much.
No, I think they troubled us that much all night, to be honest with you. There was one no long after the goal where McGinn flashed one across the goals. But nah, it was probably as comfortable 1-0 as you'll see. But at the same time, they didn't threaten really to get a second and a third and run riot last night.
No. I'll be upfront with you. When the first goal went in, I thought it would sort of go that way. I mean, that's what I'm saying about Twitter going into meltdown. You know, at the end, and we're not at the end yet of this, but at the end they were celebrating almost like they'd won a cup final. There was, I think, maybe 2 shots or 3 tops that I counted throughout the game. I think defence played okay. Midfield, you know, we'll go into players that I needed at the end, but you know, midfield was found wanting, and throughout the first half, big lad isolated. Would have liked to have seen a change in the first half and not waiting for half time. What do you think about that?
It certainly sends out a message when you're the manager if you make a change in the first half. It could have been done, but like you say, we were only 1-0 down. They weren't looking like really scoring a second, despite the fact that their midfielder seemed to take the ball off us at will. I don't think that the way it scored Murray's that great a footballer. But the difference was their 3 midfielders combined were far better than I think the 4 we had in there, quite comfortably. And we never, we could talk about them not threatening us, but we certainly never threatened them in any way, shape, or form.
No, it was pitiful. It was. It's no defending it. Me personally, Gordon, I would have brought Ismay on. Just looking at it, and I know it's devil's advocate. You know, you can look at it and think, oh well, you know, we did lose and this, that, and the other. I mean, it's one of the things I put on Twitter. You know, I didn't like that from near enough the off. I didn't like that single man up front. I think they had him. He's a big lad and he's talented, but I think they had him in the pocket, and he was, you know, a lot of our efforts were from distance, basically, and that's where they sort of kept us. I think by putting Ismay on, I think we would have mixed it up a lot quicker and given something to think about. So yeah, you know, arguments for, arguments against. What changes? I mean, did you think that there were going to be any changes at half time?
I didn't actually, but all credit to him for, you know, for admitting his mistake of leaving Cochrane out in the first place. He believes he probably should have trusted him, and he's been quoted as saying that this afternoon. I believe that he should have trusted Cochrane to start the game. It's a natural midfielder, and as we touched on Sunday night, it's absolutely ridiculous that 16-year-old is now, because of injury, your best midfielder at the club.
It is. Again, I keep going back to Twitter. I put something. He plays the. I can't remember who I was talking to about it. It might have even been Sam from Hearts Women's Development Centre. I can't really remember. But I was saying he plays like he's playing in the park, and he's just thrown 2 jumpers down for his posts, and I love that about him. I love it that he just wasn't phased and what have you, and just be getting that game time in those kind of games, it's massive. In terms of other players, yeah, they've got to be worried. The badge, again, another tweet was the badge is more important. The name on the front of the shirt is more important than the name on the back. And a lot of them players today and coming up for the Rangers game have to look themselves in the face and just in the mirror and say, you know, did I do it? And we need at the end of it. I want to talk about players that need to come in because players need more competition in those places. Because I think a lot can just sort of say, "Oh, I'm straight into the side here."
Yeah, I think the ones that are you're referring to the automatic picks. I think Berra, Suter, arguably Smith, and Lafferty, and at the moment McLaughlin, because I thought you should mention him here. I thought he had his best game for us last night. He didn't have many direct shots to stop, but the crosses that came out of the box, he dealt with every single one of them very confidently. But I don't think. Well, I think Walker's probably considered an automatic pick. So you could debate all night long about his contributions to derbies and whether it should have been an automatic pick when we go down to Easter Road. But I think the rest of them, yeah, they've got to buck up their ideas, because June and Cowie are going to hopefully not be too far away from coming back. And arguably sticking Cochrane there with two of them would actually be quite a good combination, because with their experience and the sort of style of June just sitting in front of the defence, letting Cochrane play the football. So guys like Randall, Zrelak, who else am I thinking of? Callahan even. I mean, Callahan was quite poor last night. The encouraging thing about Callahan in his first 3 games was his willingness to get in front of get beyond Lafferty. We've not seen that in the last 2 games. We didn't see it on Saturday really. And we certainly never saw it last night. I don't know if he's been told to cool his jets a wee bit because we're so weak beside him. But I think we've got to start, like you said earlier on, plenty of our strengths, and getting their central defence worried that we've got a midfielder who's going to make late runs into the box and cause them bother.
I think that's a massive point in terms of. I think somebody has had a word in his ear and said, "No, this is your position. This is where we want you to play." Again, because he did play again. He's another player in the first 3 games that played like he was playing in the park, and just play to our strengths. That's what I want us to do. Just play to our strengths. Get on with it. But in terms of what I'm trying to get at as well, Gordon, is poor decision making. From players that should know better. So we're under the cosh, and what do? We just oof it. So we're oofing it up into midfield, and the ball's coming straight back to us because Hibs have got it again. So we're straight under pressure, and you've got players who I mean, we got a free kick. Fair enough, it was near the end, and we pad it back in there, and it comes back out, and then Suter ends up having a shot. you know, that would have been better off at Mirrorfield with, you know, it gone straight between the posts. I don't know. I just think, you know, just keep the pressure on, and it's that sort of experience or what. I don't know, but I wanted more from the experience that we had, and I just thought we gave a lot of ball away. First half, second half, made a lot of bad decisions. And I know you can't put that down to the gaffer, because when the players go over that line, it's, you know, it is down to them. But, you know, fair play to us for getting the goal and for getting themselves in front. But we didn't help ourselves with that kind of play.
No, definitely not. I think when you're under the cosh, it's nice to get the ball down and maybe work it wide and try and get the fullbacks going forward. But there must have been a fear in the fullbacks' heads about going forward last night because Hibs had played the set-up so aggressively with their two wingers, and by having to play narrow, it just played straight into their hands. Because there's no doubt there's no fan in Scotland can see that Hibs' pure strength is in the middle of the park. McGuick's a good player. He's got his injury problems, which is why he's maybe not progressed further than he has. We've talked about McGinn the night there, and as for Bartley, we make life easy for a hard man in a team's midfield because we're so soft.
Yeah, well, we are. Talking about being soft, though, Gordon, I was going to bring two things up that have been sort of championed on Twitter, and it was two things I didn't like, and these are my reasons for not liking them. When they happen, I'll tell you what they are in a minute, but when they happen, you stand a chance of getting sent off. So you've already, you know, you sent off and you put your team under pressure for that particular game. We ain't got a massive squad, so you also put your team under pressure in the future. And, you know, I'm a big fan of the big lad up front, but he did look back and he did wait for his moment to slam his arm back. You'd have got a good view of that where you were sitting, wouldn't you?
I honestly can't remember. Maybe I was away for a bovril or something. I don't know, but I can't remember. Did he get booked last night? I don't know.
Right, he was very lucky because
it must have been. Was it just before half time? Because I did go just before half time.
No, it was in the second half, and there was one or two decisions where the referee brought it back for an earlier foul, but he flattened the lad basically with his forearm. You'll see it, and I'll tweet it to you later. I didn't like it, and he might be frustrated, and the lad might have had a dig at him at some point during the game.
Oh, Rob.
At the end of the day, you know, he's needed. He really is needed. The other one, Gordon, was the fair enough professional challenge. The lad was going down the wing, and he would have been out, but our young lad took him out. And you know, fair enough, Twitter's going on about it and seeing it as passion and fight. I just saw it as a foolish decision that he was lucky to get away with.
Oh, I saw that one, and I agree with you completely. I don't know if any of the people who are watching us ever played football with me or that, so I can't really condemn Cochrane for doing tackles like that, because I did a few of them myself in amateur football. But that's where these sort of tackles, you call it professional football. It's like it's the sort of thing that happens week in, week out in amateur football. When you get skinned, you just take a guy out knee high. And I agree with you. I said earlier on this season that Stevie May should have been sent off for Aberdeen against us, purely and simply because he knew what he was doing. He knew he was about 10 yards from the ball, and he absolutely wiped out. I think it was Milinkovic. They're the sort of tackles that I'd rather not see in football. To be honest with you, professional football. The pure knowledge that you're not going for the ball, you're just going to clean the guy out. You're to be fair, you're endangering the player as well.
You are.
I'd be a hypocrite if I wanted Stevie May sent off, and I didn't think that Cochrane was definitely riding his luck last night.
Yeah, I mean, if that had been a Hearts player going down that wing and they'd have done it, would have been up in arms about it. It was just two things that I just thought, no, that again goes down to bad decision making. One of the other things that we picked up on social media was something that we spoke about, and we disagreed about it. But it was on 62 minutes, Gordon, we got our first corner. And our defender came up to take this corner. Now, I was watching it on Twitter, and straight away people are asking questions as to why. And people were coming out with, you know, arguments for, as in, you know, he must be the best at doing it. But I wasn't sort of seeing that last night. I wasn't seeing those crosses that were making a difference. I think what would have made, from my point of view anyway, what would have made a difference would have been a 6'2", a 6'3" lad throwing his weight around in the box and putting his head on, or potentially putting his head on the end of a cross. Am I overreacting, Gordon?
No, you know that I think you are, because we talked. You say we disagreed about the other night there, and I think his first corner wasn't a good one. You're right. The first corner went straight in the goalie's hands. But the second corner flashed right across the face of the goal, and I think did Ismay go and get it, retrieve the situation, and cross it in for Berra, who got a header on target. Had anybody put a touch on the first cross, which was a good delivery by Suter. I think his free kick that was more suited to Murrayfield was a poor one, but I think he clearly is the best striker of the ball in the team, and that's a pretty poor reflection. Cowie will probably take the corners when he comes back into the team, as he has done for most of this season. Martin was maybe we'll get a chance in the team the way this midfield's going again. We thought he was right out the window earlier on this season, but if he's anywhere near fitness, it might be time to give him a chance and see what he delivers into the box. Maybe he'll start. He could take corners and free kicks, but right now, certainly in that team, Suter's the best striker of the ball for me.
Okay.
I'm quite happy with him. They're taking set pieces.
See, I'm not. I can't agree with you, Gordon. I just want, especially when the way we were playing, we were really chasing that game, and towards the end, it did get to the point where we were just throwing balls into the box and seeing what we could get from them. I would say in the second half, not a fantastic team, but a lot better team with two strikers.
Yeah, unfortunately, still did really trouble the Hibs defence. The midfield was still taking off us quite easily. I think what we needed last night was probably a bit of magic for Walker, and he was anonymous for the whole game. And he's your playmaker. Callahan, like I say, has probably been reined in. Bit better, but still didn't see a goal coming from anywhere at all. Like I said, the one with Berra, the Goncalves set up there, I was probably a bit disappointed he didn't try and loop it a little bit higher or get actually more power behind the header, because it was right on him when he was running towards it. But that's the only chance I can really remember. I think Goncalves might have a bit of half chance, but we didn't look like scoring at all, even though we were arguably slightly better with a more offensive formation in the second half. Yeah.
Well, you know me, Gordon. It's sort of, we've come to the end of that game, and 1-0 it was. But you know me, I'll say it time and time again. As long as players come off absolutely knackered and they've given everything, and I'm on about absolutely everything for that shirt, I can't ask for anything else. Didn't feel that way at the end of it. Didn't feel like the teams that Hearts have had in the past have been about, have been physical and have been about presence. Those were two words that you couldn't use about that team last night. There was no physical presence about them. I think they got bullied. I think they looked submissive in certain areas and got found wanted. In terms of possibilities, Gordon, I mean, we're not far off January, so we might as well do it now. In terms of January, what are you thinking? Are you happy, or do you see us putting in for players in certain positions?
I don't think any Hearts fan can be happy, and I think there's no doubt that we're found wanting well, and we're well shot in midfield. You can just about accept Jim and Cowie playing, although I think the form they've been in, we could probably even still look doing better than that. And this left back problem, we talked about it, and I even talked about it on Saturday at the game, having people talking about the Hibs Celtic game, saying this Barker looks really quick and he's going to cause teams problems. Although people did say he was a bit away in Foster, so when he gets the ball, it's a case of just watch him go, but open the gates at the same time, because he's just going to keep running in a straight line. And he didn't look to have that much ability, but yeah, you're damn right he had pace in it, and that's what troubled Smith early on. So I think I'm in almost 100% agreement with every other Hearts fan that I've read today, that we probably need maybe 3 midfielders and proper midfielders. I was looking at the timing of the thing earlier on. McGinn signed for Hibs as we were coming up, and St Mirren were going down, I think. And that's the time where I think if you find out the most promising youngsters, arguably the most promising youngster in Scotland, is in Hibs wage bracket, should we not be making a move for him, because we're on our way forward, and we're maybe thinking at that stage that Gomez has served his purpose in the Championship, and again would have been a sort of ideal fit to sit in there. But that's by the by. Obviously, that's total hypothetical. But as I say, I'm in total agreement with all the Hearts fans today that said that we need 3 midfielders and a left back, at least one left back who knows the position. You can't keep putting pressure on young Jamie to play there and hope that it works out for you every single week, because it won't. And then he might start to feel the heat a wee bit if he gets done a couple of times. So yeah, certainly. I mean, guys like Martin, Drelak, as we spoke about. Arguably, Randall could go back to Liverpool because he could be surplus to requirements. So there's a half decent right back for what I've seen. I don't fancy him in the middle of the park at all. Walker might be away, so we definitely need people in there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm with you for three midfield. Would like to see somebody with pace, somebody who can get on the wing, particularly with the kind of striker that we've got. I don't want to just keep seeing these big balls banged up to him. You know, let's get something from different angles to him. Maybe 1 or 2. Just no pace, absolutely no pace, and you're going to get sort of caught out. Sort of pandering a little bit to social media, Gordon, but sort of playing devil's advocate as it was. But the teams come up, and I know I've said it on here before. Teams come up financially stable now. Got a new stand, business-wise, fantastic. You know, it's we've got to we can't keep looking back. Don't like to see all this 5-1 business that we keep doing when we get beat. Looks bloody stupid. But you know, sort of looking forward a little bit, Gordon. I'll say it. There's no PC stuff on here. I'll say it. It's all right having this business plan and having newsstand and everything else that goes with it. It's fantastic. It's a good business model. But at the end of the day, there are sides out there working on less of a budget than we are, with what could be arguably better squads who were in cup finals. What do you say to that?
Obviously referring to Motherwell, and we talked about Motherwell earlier in the season, how they were a basket case last year in the sense that their average age must have been about 45. So when they got themselves this new manager in, and he's He's obviously noticed that very quickly and got rid of Lasley, got rid of McDonald, brought in younger legs, managed to keep Moult over the summer, which was a massive thing for Motherwell. But yeah, it just shows you how quickly actually things can change just by freshening up and getting a bit of pace in there, and a bit of enthusiasm in there. I mean, I think I can't remember Cap's name just now. I think it's McHugh. I think he's probably one of the worst footballers I've ever seen in my life, but boy, does he put a shift in. And you know you play the game against him when you play him. And enthusiasm, unfortunately, the way it is in the modern Scottish game, enthusiasm now counts for a lot. Having a bit of pace, having a bit of presence, and having legs.
I mean, definitely. I mean, what it does is it enthuses fans. At the end of the day, clubs need season tickets sold. There's no point in building new stands if you can't fill them. Fans need something to buy into, and I think there's a little bit more investment on the team needs to happen, whether it be in January or whether it be in the summer, because it's been found lacking. It was lacking against St Johnstone. It was lacking against Hibs, and hopefully, Gordon, it's not going to be lacking against Rangers on Saturday.
I'm not worried about that. We'll see how that goes. Maybe Jamie will turn up. Maybe he'll try and impress the Pedro or whoever might be the next Rangers manager once he gets emptied.
Yeah, well, yeah, you never know. You never know. All in all, it's not been a bad time. I'm going to quickly try and have a look through. I can't quote it. I can't quote it word for word. But one of Hearts Development's, one of the women put them, and I can't remember who it was. So you're going to have to forgive me, Gordon. But she basically said it was a shit night. But all in all, we sort of gather ourselves together and we push on for the Rangers game. She couldn't imagine supporting anybody else but Hearts, and I think that just about sums it up at the end of the day.
That's football for you. Last night's history now, isn't it? So, like say 5-1's history, last night's history. We push on. As Stevie Gerrard would say, we go again. You got a bit of stick for it, but that's just the way football is, unfortunately. You just got to keep moving forward and hoping things improve.
Indeed, and yeah, I think you've got to be honest and reflect on it and actually say, well, you know, a goal scuppered us yesterday, but at the end of the day, I don't think we were totally and utterly outplayed. I'm not overduly worried. There's these positions that need to be addressed, and I think the gaffer knows that, and hopefully January we get some personnel in and maybe let one or two go back to their own clubs. I've never really been an advocate of people coming. I don't think they wear the shirt with the same pride when the hats are with another club. I'm up there on Saturday, Gordon. So there's myself and yourself. I'll be going along to the Rangers game, and I'll be like I said, we're going along to the Hearts women's game over in Motherwell. Please subscribe to us, and you've watched this now. Go on Facebook, go on Twitter, let us know if you agree, you disagree with what we're saying. We'll retweet, see if we can get some conversations going. Please subscribe, and we've been JamboFANTV, and thank you very much for watching.